Hey YouTube, Brian LCS. Thanks for stopping by the channel and this video, the Amazing Spider-Man number 22 review. Now there's going to be spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to be spoiled, that is your warning. So let's jump in. This is part 2 of the recent story arc. And we start off with in the present time, and we see some bad weather and a mysterious man, and we think that is Rabin from last issue. And then we cut to Norman Osborn, and he's basically telling his assistant to get his, suit, Gold Goblin suit, and team ready, and she's kind of trying to stop him. And we find there's the Gold Goblin suit. Kamala Khan is there, and Norman Osborn questions her, why she's there, and basically, brushes her aside and tells her to, basically get lost. And there is the creative team, Zeb Wells writing, John Romita Jr. on pencils for this issue. Then we cut to 1 year ago. So this is where volume 6 of this, this series kicked off with these unknown events, and now we're finally getting some of the, some of the storylines. So Peter Parker and Mary Jane and Spider-Man have been sent to this another dimension or realm by Rabin, and they are trying to figure out, what is going on. And so that's what we see here in the first 2 pages. And then we see this mysterious man, cloaked guy who helps them out and basically takes care of the little dinosaur robot that was chasing them. And we get the reveal that it's Paul. So Paul is Mary Jane's current, boyfriend. They have kids or adopted kids or some kids together. And so Paul is in this dimension, this realm, and comes to their aid and brings them back to his home. And basically, Mary Jane asked, will we be safe here? And he said, no, I didn't say that. And so he shows all this technology that he has. He calls them symbols. Peter calls them totems. And so this is kind of a, from a previous storyline with Zeb Wells and this scientist, Rabin. And so there's some, back and forth. They're trying to figure out what's going on and how are they going to stop him and actually get home. That's one of their, major concerns is, how do they get home? And Paul mentions to Peter that he has some technology that needs a little work, but that may help him, basically a tracker that may be able to help them find, their home world. And then we cut to Rabin, and he is now with the god that he's been trying to merge with and basically, take over his power. But we found out that the last time he was defeated by Spider-Man, that Spider-Man was marked by the god, and the only way for them to, complete the merge and basically for Rabin to take over the god's powers is that they need to kill Spider-Man. And so there's still this back and forth with, Mary Jane and Paul, trying to figure out what is going on in this world, how they got into this and why he's there. And, so he was tied into this at some point. So we don't get the reveal here, but he is still, so there seems to be some connection with Rabin and the god, and maybe that Mary Jane and Paul, don't have a true relationship. And so now the god busts in and is after Peter, as Paul had explained that they need to kill Spider-Man to basically, merge. And so Peter now gets the spider, tracker working, and they've got it set so that they can escape this realm and get back home. But obviously they've got this powerful god to deal with that Raven has sent to to stop them. And we basically see several panels where Spider-Man is taking a beating, and then Paul has this contraption, this what he calls an octopus gun, to basically pull Spider-Man Peter away from the god. And Peter and Paul are basically debating. Peter wants to send Mary Jane back home, and Paul and Mary Jane are saying, look, no, you need to get home, because if they kill you, they're going to then come for our world, our realm, and basically destroy Earth. And so Peter gives the spider tracker to Mary Jane and says, look, get out of here, I'll hold him off. But we can see he's taking a beating, and then ultimately Mary Jane activates the tracker and basically begins to open up the portal between this realm and Earth, and we see Peter get sent home. And he's screaming no, obviously upset because he wants to save Mary Jane. And then we see actually that he's get outside York, Pennsylvania. So he did mention that the tracker may not be accurate, but it's pretty close. And so that's how we end the issue, with Peter home, Paul and Mary Jane still trapped in the my setup is falling over here. New setup. So, so like I said, we end up with Paul and Mary Jane still trapped in the, different dimension, different realm. Peter now sent home. And this is where we kind of kicked off this original series on issue 1, with these unknown events. Peter was in York, Pennsylvania. And so we're getting this reveal, this slow reveal now. We're 2 issues in of the storyline, and I think we're going to run for 2 or 3 more issues before we get the full backstory. Overall, not a bad issue. We got, like I said, it's been a slow reveal, so we find out now Paul's been involved with these events. Raven and the God are after Peter, trying to kill him so that they can, complete their merge and, basically take over Earth. So overall, not a bad issue. I think actually a little bit better than last issue. So thinking about my 5 webhead review system, I'm going to go with a 3. I thought the story was pretty good. Again, it's been a slow burn, and I've kind of come to learn that with Amazing Spider-Man, volume 5 now, or this volume. I'm confused on the volumes, but last volume there was a very slow, burn to learn about Kindred, and now we're 22 issues in, and we're finally getting the, the backstory on the, beginnings of this story 22 issues ago. So I guess if you're reading Spider-Man, you need to come to expect the slow burn stories. So, I guess Marvel can sell some more comics. So we'll see what happens next issue. But like I said, overall, not too bad. 3 webheads. Let me know what you think. Are you reading this? What do you think of this new storyline, this reveal, of a previous character that we haven't seen in 15 years? Villain comes back to be a big part of this Amazing Spider-Man story. But let me know down in the comments. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you soon.